Mäkinen wasn't so happy. The icy roads meant that he and Seppo Harjanne were slipping and sliding all over the place.
Vasen oikein eri aukee.
His teammate obviously wasn't on the same tyres. Schwartz had the dubious honour of being the first driver to dink a World Rally car when that happened on stage 2.
Oh, it was not bad. We just came out of the trucks in the slush snow and we hit the wall. And it was quite gnarly, so we have to go backward and forward all the time just to get the car in the right direction, and we lost quite some time.
The Monte Carlo rally isn't one of Colin McRae's favourites, and he wasn't enjoying the conditions. In the other Subaru, Piero Liati was a lot happier, and he had a far better day than his team leader. Freddie Loix from Belgium was quickest around the stage in Monaco itself, but the Toyota drivers soon found that the mountain roads were a different matter. Loix and Sven Smits dropped to 8th as a result of that spin. Liati wasn't being left behind, however, and he set the fastest time on the day's 3rd stage. For McRae, though, that second morning saw the end of his rally on an icy corner.
The problem is when you're in the racing tyres, if you go slightly offline at all, you just get pulled in with the snow, and that's what happened. Unfortunately, there was a tree just on the edge of the road and it broke the rear suspension.
McRae's wasn't the only accident. Freddie Loix damaged his Toyota Celica when he left the road, but at least he managed to keep going. But what of the top 3?
Oikein plus sumppuun ja vasen täys.
Colin McRae and Nicky Grist, meanwhile, were in 4th place at the end of the morning. Armin Schwartz and Denis Giraudet began badly, thumping a rock on stage 2. Halfway through the day, Thomas Rodstrom gave us one of the strangest pace note instructions of the year.
Open and tightens with house.
House? What house? Ah, that house. The honour of setting that fastest time on the stage went to Colin McRae.
Felt very good, but the last maybe 10 kilometres we lost all the studs, so maybe Tommy lost the studs before we did.
But his tyres were even worse than yours.
Yeah, I'm sure it must have been to be that big a difference.
Rally leader Kenneth Eriksson, meanwhile, was coming under pressure from his teammate.
40, höger 3 minus.
McRae taken the lead again, but it wouldn't last.
5 right plus light. Into 6 left.
Mäkinen was also trying a little too hard.
Oikein täys.
That section, though, also saw the first problem. Kenneth Eriksson hit a rock and lurched through the stage like a crab.
And it was a big stone, or 2 big stones on the road, probably from Carlos. And I had to go over one of them, which one, and I took the right one, and it took one of the lower arm or the hub, so it knocked the bolt out from the hub, you see, so I lost the wheel there.
Kenneth and Staffan Parmander had done their part in just getting to the service area. It was now the mechanics' turn. But it was no good. They were out. Sainz was another driver who also hit problems on that first section.
Tell me the animals, please. Tell me the animals.
That collision with an animal, possibly a gazelle, had taken a wheel off.
Te lo dije.
Carlos, está apretado. Si no funciona la pistola, la apreté, la reapreté. Todo lo que pude y más. Todo lo que pude y más, porque le di más retoque. Helicopter, we lost the wheel. The wheel nuts are broken, so we cannot continue. That's the end of the rally for us.
Sainz, like Ericsson, began his long journey home. Mäkinen had lost a little time on the first section, but made up for it on the second and took the lead.
Jarek, we have got the problem with the rear shock, right-hand side.
After 60 kilometers, we had a shock absorber broken on the rear.
Mäkinen too had his fair share of problems, a string of punctures costing time. Eventually, mechanical damage caused by those punctures meant retirement. Ray restarted superbly. Fastest on stage 2, he took the lead despite this spin. Carlos Sainz was second after that stage, although his rally didn't last much longer.
Well, 2 kilometers to the end of stage number 3, big noise suddenly in the transmission and car stopped. No more drive, and I think something break in the center diff or something break in the gearbox or big explosion.
The early leader, Colin McRae, soon joined Sainz, but his retirement was caused by electrical failure.
Into 6 right and K 3 left and tight.
Oh, it's dead. Just tell him to stop. All the ignition powers, everything on it just won't run.
Nick to service, come in.
No, push.
The cause of the problem was a mystery. No electrics, but they had ignition. They needed a push out of the stage and had to walk back to service. This was Freddie Leutz's first rally since the string of disappointments in Monte Carlo. But for his teammate Marcus Gronholm, there was retirement in spectacular fashion. While Sainz's teammate once again was the consistent Schwartz. Consistent at finding problems, that is. Schwartz's problems continued meanwhile. He was about to retire for the first time this year. Also outside the points, Uwe Nittel, finishing 8th, not helped by a spin.
60. Links 4 minus.
1. Armin Schwartz had a new co-driver for the event, Phil Mills, but it didn't stop his problems. Mäkinen chose the correct tyres for the stage, but they didn't help when this happened.
Suddenly 2 cows jumped to the road and there was no time to even braking at all. I was just lift throttle and we hit straight to the other cow, and from there straight to the wall, and we dropped down about 30-40 meters quite far to the river.
So Mäkinen and Seppo Harjanne were out in one of the biggest accidents for years.
3 to 4 minus.
Francois Delacour spun on that last stage, so losing any chance of victory. So did Panizzi, so it was now a 2-horse race. Kankinen was making a cautious start, but quickly settling into the new car.
50, very, very long medium right.
He and Juha Repo were 5th at the end of the day. Burns and Robert Reid had slipped back. They were 4th. Sainz and Lewis Moyer were 3rd, concerned about the damage to the front of the car. Kankinen and Repo inherited 4th place as a result of Burns' misfortune, but they also fell victim to an Argentinian rock.
Long easy left.
Burns had retired with a rear wheel knocked off, Kankinen with a front one. But the rally had plenty of hazards ready to trap the unwary. Colin McRae was one of the first victims of those Greek roads.
Into 4 left, press over crest. Into bump.
snap steering column or something.
Well, hang on, are we going to get out, Carl? Nick to supervision with no mobile again, but it's not very nice at all, over.
Just hit a bump on the inside of a corner, and just the force of the bump bent the steering column.
An unlikely visitor to Greece was Sweden's Thomas Rodstrom, more at home in his native country's snow and ice. It was Rodstrom's teammate who had the dubious honour of crashing out on just the very first stage. Belgium's Freddie Loix would play no further part in the rally. Ericsson led the rally going into stage 6, but wouldn't be leading coming out. Kenneth and Staffan Parmander nursed their battered Subaru through the stage until they could reach service.
A circlip in the inside the steering rack has failed, and it caused the steering to just lock up occasionally and randomly, which is not a pleasant experience for him at all.
Not so fortunate, however, was Kenneth Eriksson, who was forced to retire with a car too badly damaged after that previous day's roll. Tommy Mäkinen was another driver who had problems. A long list of breakages gave the Mitsubishi mechanics plenty of work to do. Unlike Eriksson, however, Mäkinen would continue.
For sure, 4 minutes is absolutely too much. So, bit bad luck, but it's rallying, everything can happen.
So what exactly happened?
I don't understand what is wrong with this rally. It's so nice to drive. I like these stages. It's very much like 1,000 lakes, and it's so enjoyable rally. But because it's no luck, That's it.
Sainz started 22 seconds ahead of Eriksson, but running first on the road was a distinct disadvantage. In all, 39 were lost on that first stage of the day.
Till höger 3 minus. 20. Vänster 2 minus. Fan gör du för någonting, Ken?
Sainz and Moya were then on course to take their second successive event victory, until that collision with a sheep lost the pair 26 seconds, together with lots of damage caused to the bodywork, engine, radiator and suspension. The Ford mechanics were faced with a grim task, not at all pleasant, but they set to work. The tension in the Ford camp was clear. To retire now, with the finish almost in sight, would be a cruel blow. With time ticking away, Sainz blows the horn in frustration, desperate to leave before incurring time penalties. The pair eventually left, penalty-free. Kankinen was then left chasing Mäkinen. He was quickest on the third stage. Now only 9 seconds separated the two Finns. Struggling through after losing so much time, Sainz and Luis Moya resorted to pushing the car at one point, but to no avail. For Kenneth Eriksson, his problems weren't mechanical.
Slip it in.
Only around 8 seconds were lost, but there was more work for the Mitsubishi mechanics.
The last stage we hit the wall a little bit and broke front. Luckily not so badly, just the turbo pipe closed completely.
McRae was fastest on the first 2 stages of the day. Then came the third.
Caution, 3 left minus over crest, slippy. Tightens and opens, 3 outside. Into 3 right, opens.
Mäkinen had no idea of the dramas behind him, just as well. To his relief, McRae passes Mäkinen's Mitsubishi.
Into slow 3 left.
Colin McRae and Nicky Grist had problems of their own.
And 6 left. And 6 right over crest. Pardon? Fire.
The concern showed on the faces of all the Subaru team.
Stupid mistake, completely my fault. We went too quick in a slippy corner and hit a tree. And then it burst the gearbox cooler and set the car on fire and broke the radiator. So we lost a lot of time. I don't know whether we'll be able to get it going or not.
Once again, the mechanics were the key to continuing. Every last ounce of energy was used to get the car going again. But it got little further. Retirement number 6 for McRae and Nicky Grist. Loix began badly, transmission problems dropping him from 2nd to 6th. Nittel was charging, 2nd fastest on 2 stages despite this spin, but it couldn't last. By stage 23, the gap was just 1 second. This spin, Loix's only error of the day. Juha Kankinen's a past winner in Australia, but his rally began badly.
Just, went a little bit too much sideways. I saw the corner a bit too late because in the dust and touched the tree and just the bottom arm bolt broke.
Mäkinen's miserable first leg would continue. More damage for the team to fix, and yet more lost time. Kenneth Eriksson was also in need of help from his mechanics. Neil Bates and Coral Taylor visited the scenery, but at least they kept going. Not so lucky were Kenneth Eriksson and Staffan Pamander when this happened on stage 15. Oriol was 4th, 16 seconds ahead of Mäkinen.
Sur piège. Piège, droite à fond, sur attention, gauche 5, plonge. Putain de merde, c'est bon. Droite à fond, attention, gauche 5, plonge, sortie là.
But with only 1 stage remaining, McRae still led, despite a spin on one of the afternoon stages.
56. 56 left.
Bearings. Sainz and McRae were just 2 seconds apart, but the contest would be decided by Sainz's car.
We are in the middle of the stage, we have a problem, we don't know what it is. Dale al crank. A ver, prueba ahora.
McRae and Grist passed the stricken car, all too aware that Sainz's bid for the title was over.
70. Okay, 6 crest, 70.
Carlos began the long journey home, while back at the service area there was disbelief. With Sainz gone, McRae should have been cruising to victory, but he was handicapped once again. He needed just 1 point to take the title, but he made a slightly erratic start.
Oh, nyt oikein nopea.
I don't feel any pressure at all now. There's one thing to do, and I'll try my best to do it. If I can't do it, then I've tried my best.
Only victory would be good enough for McRae, and even then, Mäkinen would have to score no points. McRae's teammate Kenneth Eriksson was the rally's first casualty.
Vänster 4 plus, 120. Går bra, går bra.
And second. With Eriksson out, Liati was now McRae's only backup. But that determination to win saw McRae straight-lining the chicane at Silverstone. While Colin was making up time, Richard was losing out.
60. Fast lane, middle.
But that cold meant that Mäkinen wasn't enjoying himself and was affecting his concentration. Piero Liati's not at home on wet gravel, and his car bore the scars.
We were too fast, there was no way to try to turn, and we rolled. But we landed on the 4 wheels, so we switched it on the engine and off we went.
The rally'd lost Eriksson on day 1, but on day 2 it was Oriol's turn.
Sur gauche, sur droite à fond, plonge. Gauche, sur droite à fond, plonge. Putain, c'est malin ça. Putain, on va se faire mal. Mamie, je t'aime, mamie, je t'aime, mamie, je t'aime.
I have in my note, be careful inside. There are some log, and it's narrow. And I forget to write in my notes that outside also there are some log. We go off the road and we roll quite fast.
Sainz finished third, a broken drive shaft the only hiccup on the final day. Kankinen was second, yet another pair of escorts in the top 3.
Medium right and long fast left.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. If you're interested in more content like this, check out our back catalog of videos. We have hours and hours and hours of compilation videos, podcasts where you'll get news, you'll get my opinion on certain things, which who doesn't want to hear that. Check it out. If you would, like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads. We will be making more videos like this one. So, if you're interested, turn on notifications, like, subscribe, the works. And I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Love you. Peace.